Twin Arrows. Navajo Casino.
If you're a fan of any sport on the planet, college or pro, then we are right where you want to be.
The place to come when you want to have too much fun.
Real sports fans need a sports book powered by Hard Rock Bet. Follow the money line to Twin Arrows and too much fun.
Twin Arrows.
The best indoor tailgate party in Flagstaff with massive HD screens, cold drinks, game time food specials, and best service is at Arrow Sports Bar. After the game, get back in the game at craps, blackjack, and slots. Now that's too much fun.
The place to come when you want to have too much fun.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Twin Arrows.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help that often requires only simple maintenance. However, if left untreated, could lead to costly repairs. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello from A1 Garage Door Service. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. If your garage door is noisy, if bugs are getting in, or if it struggles to open, your garage door is in need of repair. From simple repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one. We fix garage doors fast and with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Our springs, rollers, and openers are tested by running them up and down, open and closed, all day, 24/7, so you can feel confident with every A1 garage door repair. Replacing the bottom rubber on your garage door can have a huge impact on the number of bugs you see in your garage and in your home. Keep those creepy crawlers outside by calling A1 Garage Door Service today and receive the best service, best parts, and best warranty in the industry.
A1Garage.com, A1 from day one.
Call today and take advantage of our $29.95 tune-up special.
This season, Smart & Final's giving everyone what they want. Low grocery prices, big savings, and free delivery. Whether you're hosting, cooking, or baking, Smart & Final's celebrating with low prices on everything you need for the holidays. Smart & Final, where else?
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
The Thursday edition of the lunch break right here on KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert with you for the next 2 hours. Producer Evan is on the other side of the glass. He is ready to take your phone calls. The phone number 480-864-1060 if you want to hop in and join the program at any point over the next 2 hours. You can also watch the show over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube channel. What do we want to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen? I'll leave it up to the audience because I know the thing we're supposed to talk about here at the beginning of the show, but I'm sure you would like to forget that last night ever happened, just like I would like to forget last night ever happened. It's like that scene in Men in Black where they use the pen and erase. I'd like my memory erased for last night's basketball game. Okay, how about we do it here off the top and we mostly get away from it from the rest of the show? Because, of course, the Suns' NBA Cup run, well, came to a screeching halt last night.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
Devin Booker did not play for the Phoenix Suns, and it did not go well. A 138-89 loss, a 49-point destruction by the best team in basketball, the Oklahoma City Thunder. They flexed their muscles in a big way, reminded everybody why they are the best team in the NBA. What are they now, 24-1, 25-1? They have been excellent this season. They showed it again last night. They had a 26-point lead at halftime. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, how about this? 28 points, 8 assists, 27 minutes of action. Suns just did not have an answer. And you know that when you play Oklahoma City that you're going to get a great defensive effort from them. It's going to be really difficult to score points. And if you'll remember, we jokingly said that the Phoenix Suns would have to be the 2017-18 Spurs or Utah Jazz to be in this game. And considering they only scored 89 points, I think that's exactly what they would have needed to do to stay in this game. But not only did you get that defensive performance last night from the Oklahoma City Thunder, they shot 64% in the first quarter. So if you're going to get elite levels of defense and they're not going to miss basically on the offensive end, what chance do you have with Devin Booker and Jalen Green on the sidelines? You just don't stand a chance. No offense to Dylan Brooks. No offense to Grayson Allen and Royce O'Neal and Mark Williams and Colin Gillespie. No offense to this group. This group is playing in a way that we should be proud of so far this season. They don't stand a chance against a team like that when they're playing that well and they're firing on all cylinders on both ends of the floor. You know they're going to be great defensively. They forced 21 turnovers in the game. They limited the starting five to the Phoenix Suns to only 41 points. And yes, the Dogs were called off at one point, and the Suns sat their starters down late in the fourth quarter in this one. Or I guess early in the fourth quarter in this one. But they were just lights out from the word go. They're suffocating defensively. You don't have your two scorers that while Oklahoma City gets hot, they could get hot in response and keep you in it. You're looking to Dylan Brooks to do that. You're looking to Royce O'Neal, Grayson Allen to do that. And just not who those guys are as players. They are nice, complementary role players. Those three players, I want to throw Colin Gillespie in there as well. They're not take over a game level players in the NBA. That's what Devin Booker and Jalen Green are there for. And you knew that when that ball got tipped in the air, without Book, without Jalen Green, it was going to be an uphill battle. So there is nothing about last night's game that surprises me. Maybe the thing that surprises me is just how efficient Oklahoma City was at both ends of the floor and how they put this thing away early. But they've been that good. They're going for 75. They're going for the record. They're off to an excellent start. They'll continue on and go to Vegas. They'll take on the Spurs now, right? Because the Spurs beat the Lakers last night. And I think what makes it even more embarrassing is that those are the only two games on last night. So you have the entire NBA world watching you get dismantled on national television by the Oklahoma City Thunder. Everybody's watching you lose by 49 and be wholly uncompetitive. So that adds this thing a little bit more. But this Oklahoma City team is unreal. And I got to tell you, I can't wait to see them go up against the Spurs. If Wemby could be healthy for that game and we got to see best on best, that would be really something. But you just flush this one down the toilet. I'm not going to make too much out of last night's game. I'm not going to be the hot take guy that says, oh, the Suns season is doomed. This is where the wheels start to fall off. This is where things start to slide. That's the best team in the NBA. It may be one of the best teams in NBA history. When we get to the end of the season, we may talk about the 25-26 Oklahoma City Thunder in the small group of elite regular season NBA teams. There is no shame in getting blown out by them when you don't have your top two scorers. You take it, you throw it in the trash, you use the Men in Black pen, you erase your memory, you forget it ever happened, and you move on to the next game that the Suns are going to play. That's at least how I'm choosing to view last night. It's ugly. It was disgusting. You probably turned it off in the second half. They were down 26 at halftime. You knew they didn't have the guys to come back when they're down 26 at halftime against Oklahoma City. It is what it is. It happens. Everybody gets blown out over the course of a basketball season. When the ball gets tipped in the air and this team doesn't have Booker or Jalen Green, you should not be surprised that that's the result last night.
There was nothing surprising about it. I think it was surprising on how bad it was. Did I expect them to win this game? No. But to lose by 49 is disheartening. And you said it best. There's only two games on it, right? And it's a Wednesday night. So you got no football. There's not much going on in the NHL. Everybody's watching that game. And it just felt like it drew attention to the Suns in a really negative way last night, despite what has been a really positive season for them to this point.
I'm sure there were some people out there watching the Suns for the first time last night wondering, why is everybody talking so positively about the Phoenix Suns? Right? There's somebody who checked in, a casual NBA fan that checked into that game last night and was like, what's the big deal about the Phoenix Suns? Now, I don't really care about that opinion. We know what this Phoenix Suns team is. We know what they can be. We know who they were missing last night. But you do realize that the casual NBA fan checked in last night and they saw your worst output all season. Now, there's a reason for it. I'm not going to excuse make for it because remember, this Phoenix Suns team played very competitively with Devin Booker just, 2 weeks ago in Oklahoma City. So you felt like if he played last night that they could have given it a shot. I don't know. I feel okay that they played it cautiously with Devin Booker. I wanted him out there. I talked myself into it as yesterday's show progressed that I just wanted him in the game because I wanted them to try to give Oklahoma City a run. Oklahoma City played angry last night. They played like a team possessed. They played like a team that wanted to make a statement because, again, the Suns played them very competitively the last time out. And there were talks of, we mentioned it, if Booker plays, can they maybe keep this close? Booker didn't play. Oklahoma City decided that they wanted to make a statement. And you have to remember, we are now in the part of the NBA Cup where there is money on the line. And it may not mean a lot to somebody like SGA who has a supermax, but the coaches get paid more. Everybody on the roster gets paid more. And I think it's $50,000 for last night's game. It then goes up to, I think, 100, and then it goes up to 250 in the final. So you're talking about a lot of money potentially at stake for somebody who's on a vet min, somebody who hasn't hit their second contract yet in the NBA or isn't making a ton of money. This is a chance to really, really break the bank in the middle of the season to the tune of what could be, $500,000, $1 million bucks. That's a lot of money to somebody.
It's a lot of money.
And so you are going to see, and you saw it in the Spurs game a little bit later on in the evening, you're going to see the intensity get ramped up. And Oklahoma City brought the intensity, and they brought it on both ends of the floor. You know what you're going to get from them defensively. SGA is a superstar. And the Suns, they're going to be shorthanded most nights as it is with where their roster is at. And they just feel even more shorthanded when you look on the other side and you see stars like SGA. And honestly, last night's game, I think, puts in perspective how surprising Monday's game against Minnesota was, because Minnesota's got star power on the other side, and yet the Suns matched them blow for blow. You wouldn't be surprised if most games without Devin Booker and Jalen Green look like the ones that the Suns played last night. But they've been able to show fight, and so you're never willing to count them out. But SGA is a superstar. He's a top 5 player in the game right now.
Certainly.
And probably closer to the top end of that list. That's how great he is. And you just don't have an answer for that. Paul says, what do you think would have happened if the Suns had Booker and Green? I think they would have lost by at least 30, your margin of victory for the Thunder. I mean, the Thunder are an excellent basketball team, so I'm not going to sit up here and say that if they had Booker and Green, they win the basketball game. But I watched Devin Booker lead the Suns into Oklahoma City just 2 weeks ago and play a game that was down to the final possession inside of a minute, inside the final 30 seconds. So if they have Booker and Green, I think it's a more competitive first half. I don't think they're down 26 on the road, but Oklahoma City shot 64% from the first quarter.
No, listen, they're not winning that basketball game.
But it's closer.
I think they lose by probably, 30, I think is a stretch. I think it's 15. I think it's under 20. You don't get embarrassed like that.
No, I think embarrassment is taken off the table if they have both their scorers last night. I think if both Booker and Green are in there, it is a much closer game, and we're not describing it as an embarrassment. We're describing it as Oklahoma City is just that good. Last night was Oklahoma City is just that good, and it was an embarrassment for the Phoenix Suns because they just didn't have the guys. So, no, do I think they win the game last night with Booker and Green? No. Do I think it's closer? I mean, with Booker a couple of weeks ago, it was a 4-point game, wasn't it? So they've shown that they can play it close against this team, but no, I don't think the Suns would have won last night. Oklahoma City has one loss all season. They're the best team in the NBA. They're one of the best teams in the last half decade to a decade. I mean, this is like Warriors peak run type stuff from Oklahoma City right now. And doesn't it feel like they haven't even reached their final form yet as a team?
100%.
Like, it feels like there's still more in the tank that they could unlock. And they have all these draft picks over the next couple of years. Like, it's the Warriors were great, but they were great, and you knew it would have an expiration date at some point because they sold the farm in order to keep that group going. Oklahoma City's not going to do that because they're a smaller market team. They're not going to go in. But they have all of this draft capital that they've accumulated over the years where they're just going to continue to be able to add new pieces, and it just feels way more sustainable. And, boy, it's special. And I think it's 100% on the table that they could go back-to-back. It's hard to do that in the NBA. It's hard to be that team. But I think the West is theirs. The East is wide open with Boston having injuries, with Indiana having injuries. So if there's ever a year for a team like Oklahoma City to go back-to-back, this feels like the year, and you saw it last night. They're an elite defensive level team, 21 turnovers, held the starting five for the Suns to 41 points, and they also can flip that switch offensively. And if you're going to play a team that's that fundamentally sound defensively, and they're going to shoot nearly 64, 65%, in the first quarter, you don't stand a chance. You just don't. I don't care who you have on the team. You are not going to be able to beat them when they are hot on the offensive end and they're able to lock you down defensively. And that's what happened last night. And it's 26 at halftime, and you just know the Suns do not have the guys to claw back right now from 26 points down. They do not have the one or two players you can turn to take over a quarter or to take over a 6 to 8 minute stretch and will them back into this being a 9-point game, an 8-point game, and building some momentum. They just don't have those guys. And they'll get Devin Booker back here at some point. They'll get Jalen Green back here at some point, and then they will have those guys where you can start to believe that they can make those runs. But last night, it wasn't that night. And it's just embarrassing that there's nothing else on, and everybody is paying attention to you, and that's the result you have. It's listen, I'll call it what it is. It's embarrassing, but I'm not going to allow it to impact my long-term view of this team this season. This is a game you throw in the trash and you move on. It's exactly
nobody's going to remember this for the 6th seed.
No, if and I'll take it a step further. If you make the play-in tournament, no one's going to remember this game to Oklahoma City because you know what? You're not. I don't have Oklahoma City's game logs in front of me, but you're not the first team to get blown out by Oklahoma City this season, and you certainly aren't going to be the last. Oklahoma City's going to do this to a lot of teams.
They're going to run teams out of the building. You just happen to be one of the teams they did it to on a night in which you didn't have Devin Booker, you didn't have Jalen Green, and let's face it, kind of got a miracle win in Minnesota on Monday.
Right, well, that's what I'm saying. That it puts that game so much into context of, man, it is so surprising that they did that. Because
it's impressive.
Nobody would have been surprised if that game would have went similarly to last night. So you throw it in the trash, you move on, you wait for Devin Booker to get healthy, and now you take the rest that being out of the NBA Cup provides because your next game won't be until, what is that, next week? Will be the next Suns game that they'll play. They'll have
Sunday.
Some time off. Sunday. So they'll have some time off before they play later on this weekend. So some rest that could be much needed for this team. And again, I know this is a sombering moment that their NBA Cup run came to a halt, but I still think it's an impressive run that they got to this stage. And they should be proud of the effort that they put in to get to this point. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also hang out with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. Brian says Oklahoma City's backups could probably form an NBA team that could be over 500. I don't think he's wrong.
I think he's right.
Yeah, I think the backups for the Thunder might be a middle-of-the-road NBA team. Yeah, that's how deep and good Oklahoma City is. And they got more coming with all the draft picks they have over the next couple of years. Don't they have, like, Utah's pick in the lottery? And Utah's not very good. Like, they might have, like, a top 5 pick next year. I don't know.
I want to say, I don't know if it's unprotected.
Yeah, I don't know what the protections are on it, but they hold – do they hold the Clippers picks?
Yeah, so right now, Right now they have the Clippers, who would be the 3rd pick.
And is it unprotected or protected?
And I think it's unprotected because even with the Clippers at 3, it's Oklahoma City's.
So they would have they are going to potentially set the record for most regular season wins and have a top 3 pick. Maybe even the number 1
and have
pick.
3 in the first round because they have Philadelphia's and Houston's.
Yeah, the Oklahoma City Thunder are a problem. And I think in a good way for basketball, they're a problem. Like they are a good team that's going to stay good for a really long time.
It's they are built to dominate the next decade.
I would agree with that. They are built to go on a run here.
And I don't really Sam Presti, their general manager, is the best in sports.
Well, they were just rated number 1. The Athletic did a survey of the top front offices in the NBA, and to the surprise of absolutely nobody, I believe Oklahoma City was ranked number 1 in that poll because they've just been so good at identifying talent, drafting talent, trading players, making sure that they're looking, 2, 3, 4 years ahead, and just always being ahead of the curve, right? Not allowing themselves to get caught up in the present. They're always looking towards the future, and it has set themselves up for some great success. And they're moving on to the next round of the NBA Cup, and they embarrassed the Phoenix Suns in the process. When we come back, the over-under might be set at 6. Where do the Cardinals fit into that? That's next. The lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
ASU women's basketball right here on KDUS AM 1060. Hop in this Sunday as head coach Molly Miller and the Lady Sun Devils look to square off against Oregon State. ASU is taking control of the court all season long and now look ready to show off their talents up in Oregon. Join Jeff Munn on the call live from the Beaver State. It's ASU versus Oregon this Sunday. Pregame at 1:30 and tip-off at 2 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Kohl's Customer Appreciation Event is here, right in time for the gift exchange. Even though everyone pretends gifting isn't a competition, it kinda is. At Kohl's, save on gifts everyone will fight over. From sweaters and flannels to air fryers, toaster ovens, and more. Because deep down, the gift exchange isn't just about giving. It's also about winning. Shop Kohl's and save on top gifts now. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offers end December 14th. See store or kohls.com for details.
It's frustrating when people intervene on you, but they have problems of their own. It's like when someone sends you a text, but the text comes from their email address. I hate this. Your name at iCloud, they FaceTime you from their email address? Are you calling on a child's iPad?
Emmy-winning comedian John Mulaney announces his new tour, Mr. Whatever. Celebrity Theater, Friday, March 6th. Tickets on sale now at etix.com.
Global Credit Union, how can I help you?
It's one of those voice prompts.
Representative! Good morning. How can I help?
Wait, is this a real person?
It's 2 a.m.
We're here to help members 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Impossible.
At Global, possible. Learn more at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, your world of financial possibilities.
Did you know that Harrah's Auction Casino is your key to nationwide fun? That's right. You'll unlock perks at more than 50 destinations from coast to coast at your local home for Caesars Rewards. Free dining in Atlantic City? Yes. Free slot play in Maricopa? You bet. Free hotel stays in New Orleans? Oh, yeah. What are you waiting for? Harrah's Auction Casino. Play for all. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700 or 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Visit the Caesars Rewards Center for details.
Rome here to Rome Report. Hate to be the one to throw a wet blanket on the LA Lakers and their hot start, but despite having Luka, Austin Reeves, and LeBron James, and currently sitting second overall in the Western Conference, the Lakers are not legitimate NBA title contenders. Not my lava, mind you, but incredibly, the nonsense emanating from LeBron's agent, Rich Paul, who just said that on the first episode of his new podcast. My man, do not confuse your guy no longer being the face of the franchise and Clutch no longer running the franchise with them not being competitive. That's you and your client being butthurt over the Lakers ripping their franchise back from you. And you can especially miss me with this nonsense that Reeves ought to come off the bench. What's next? Bronny should start over Luka? If you thought these guys were insufferable when they were on top, just wait to see their act now that LeBron is a faded GOAT. I'm Jim Rome. The holiday season is always more jolly with Prize Picks. Every sport, every play, every stat matters just a little more. On Prize Picks, you simply pick 2 to 6 players, choose more or less, and watch your lineups light up like the holidays. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code ROME and get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code ROME on Prize Picks to get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 in bonus credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks, where it's going to be right. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
NAU men's basketball right here on KDUS AM 1060. Join the Lumberjacks as they travel to California to take on San Diego this Sunday. Head coach Shane Burkhardt knows his team can fight hard on the court and are ready to earn themselves a win on the road. Join Mitch Stroman live on the call this Sunday. It's NAU versus San Diego. Pregame at 3:30 p.m. and tip-off at 4 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
As part of their Week 15 column over on ESPN.com, one of the questions that Dan Graziano and Jeremy Fowler attempted to explore was how many head coaching openings would there be this offseason? They set the over-under on open head coaching jobs at 6, or at least Graziano did, and Fowler agreed with that. And we know of at least 2 that are going to be made up in those 6 because the Titans and Giants have already fired their head coaches mid-season. And Graziano added a bunch of other teams to the list. The Raiders, Falcons, the Dolphins, the Browns, the Bengals, and the Arizona Cardinals of the teams that he is monitoring ahead of the end of the offseason as potential openings. Fowler agreed with him that it was going to be 6, said that he would love to say 7 for entertainment purposes, but can't really get there. So we've got 2 already, Giants, Titans. We're going to get 4 more out of the group of, or what we think is the group of, the Raiders, Falcons, Cardinals, Dolphins, Browns, and Bengals. We know that on average, we get around, 5 to 7 of these. If we split the difference, 6. 6 is normally the number that you shoot for, right? You just expect there to be that type of turnover year to year in the NFL. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's 7 or 8, and sometimes it ends up being 4 or 5 on the shorter end. But 6 feels like a great launching point for this conversation. And the Arizona Cardinals find themselves on this list. Now, I do think there are more locks, maybe one more lock on this list than the Cardinals. I think the Raiders are going to make a change at the end of the season. I think Pete Carroll is gone. They tried it. They thought he was going to stabilize and lead them to a decent floor and try to grow into that floor. It's one of the worst rosters in football. It needs to be completely overhauled. And I don't think Pete Carroll is the guy that they want sticking around to oversee that overhaul. So I think that makes 3. So you got 3 more out of Atlanta, the Cardinals, Miami, Cleveland, and Cincinnati. Now, if you ask the producer of this program, there's no shot that Miami is making a coaching change with the job that Mike McDaniel has done over the last couple of weeks.
I didn't say no chance.
No chance. He saved his job, according to every time we talk about them in a look ahead or a rewind. You gush praise on the performance of Mike McDaniel.
Well, let's look at their schedule. They could beat the Steelers this week. And you're 7-7.
If they can get to 8, I think he's
fine. If they get to 8 wins, he's not being fired.
I think if they get to 8, he's fine. I think anything less than 8, I think the door's still open. But okay, let's put them to the side for just a second. Still have 3 teams we got to put on this list with the Raiders, the Titans, and the Giants. And we've got Atlanta, Arizona, Cleveland, and Cincinnati. Now, I know everybody loves to fire the 2 Ohio coaches.
Every year.
I'm not sure either of them are going anywhere. Stefanski has not been good. I think he's like 6-24 over the last 2 seasons.
You can't forget about Tomlin and Harbaugh. They're both gone, according to.
They're always getting fired. So we put them on the list. Cincinnati may consider a change. Burrow apparently not having fun playing football anymore. That's certainly alarming. Wonder if they make a coaching change in order to help with that, because it's another missed year, another missed opportunity for that team. And then there's obviously Arizona and Atlanta. Now, Atlanta, injuries have plagued their season. Michael Penix hasn't progressed the way I think they thought. They don't have a off-ramp because they don't have a first-round pick next year. They don't have a way out of this. They're kind of stuck for the next couple of seasons. So do they need to get a new head coach in there that can make the most out of this roster? And then there's Arizona. And you pulled some numbers for me that I think allow us to evaluate Arizona's candidacy in all of this, because you shared with me the statistics of the coaches that were hired the same offseason as Jonathan Gannon. So all of these coaches are also finishing year 3. Now, you have Sean Payton at the top of this list. I think we put Sean Payton to the side here, but 29-18 is the head coach. 1 playoff appearance with Denver. They're 11-2. They're going to go to the playoffs again this year. He was a Hall of Fame all-time great coach in New Orleans. Now he comes to Denver, and he's doing the same thing. Shane Steichen is 25-22 as the head coach. No playoff appearances. He's 8-5 in year 3. And I think the job that he did with this offense and Daniel Jones, they're going to keep him around a little bit. I think coming into the year, his job was on the hot seat, but he very quickly in year 3 validated why he should get another run. DeMeco Ryans, a coach that we're all going to see very close on Sunday when the Houston Texans take on the Arizona Cardinals. 28-19 as the head coach. 2 playoff appearances, 2 playoff wins, 8-5 here in year 3, and has a chance to win that division. Then you have Frank Reich on this list, who was 1-10 as the head coach, fired in year 1. And now you have Jonathan Gannon, who is 15-32 as the head coach, and no playoff appearances. Those are the contemporaries for Jonathan Gannon. And I see a lot of success everywhere else other than Frank Reich. I see success in Houston. I see success in Indy this past season. I've seen 2 years of success, whatever I think of it, in Denver. And I look at D'Amico Ryans, 10-7, 10-7, 2 divisional championships, now 8-5, could potentially win a 3rd straight divisional title, and has a defense that we're going to talk about a little bit later on in the show that's the best in football, if not one of the best in football.
And I think there's more to take away from it as well. Think about Indy drafted a quarterback 4th overall under Shane Steichen. They missed. And they're still 8-5 this year.
Yeah, I mean, and, they're turning to Phillip Rivers potentially on Sunday to save their season. But I think what he showed with Daniel Jones is that he's a very smart offensive mind, and if you get him the right player, they can be one of the best teams in football. And so he's going to stick around. But this is the reason why Arizona is going to end up on these lists. This is the reason why Arizona and Jonathan Gannon's future is still murky for me. I know that it feels like he's sticking around, but if they continue to lose, if that 15-32 record continues to get worse and worse, we know there's going to be probably 6. I can come up with 3, Tennessee, New York already. We know that, or we think we know that the Raiders are going to join in there. Maybe Atlanta makes a move. Maybe one of Cincinnati or Cleveland make a move. But I just keep coming back to Arizona because these other coaches, they have shown success. Now, Sean Payton's an outlier because he showed success elsewhere, but it didn't take him long to turn the Broncos around. Shane Steichen has the Colts, whatever you think of their chances to finish this, has them in year 3 in a position to make the postseason. D'Amico Ryan's about to win his 3rd straight divisional title, potentially. Frank Reich is the one outlier. It was a one and done because that was just a complete disaster, and they moved on. Gannon is closer to Frank Reich than he is any of the other coaches on this list. The other coaches in year 3 found success, or in D'Amico's Ryan's case, found success right away and has always had success. About to be 3 straight double-digit win seasons for D'Amico Ryans. So I think we're going to get to 6, and I think we have to consider Arizona being one of those 6 teams. Because I think in Cleveland, Kevin Stefanski has taken his team to the postseason. They have to clean up the mess of their quarterback room. In Cincinnati, team played in a Super Bowl under Zach Taylor. They've had just injuries, especially at the quarterback position. Miami might play their way into Mike McDaniel keeping his job. He's also taken his team to the postseason. He's kept this unit together. They have every reason to be in the same spot the Arizona Cardinals are in record-wise, and they're not because McDaniel is coaching his tail off, and he's keeping that group together. And it's allowed them to rattle off some wins to where he might keep his job. What is the thing that you're going to point to for Jonathan Gannon that I can point to for all of these other coaches? There isn't. And that's why his name is always going to come up on these lists. That's why until we get to the Monday after the regular season, and it might not even be the Monday, it might linger into the week, until we hear definitively that Jonathan Gannon is returning as the head coach for the Arizona Cardinals, we're always going to wonder if they're going to move on. The door is always going to be open for some of the things I just shared with you. He doesn't have the resume that other coaches hired the same year he has. He doesn't have the calling card that some of the coaches that are on, Dan Graziano's list has. That could be reasons for them to stick around. So just a fascinating thing to watch, as we know there's going to be a couple more, and I think the Arizona Cardinals fit right into the center of it. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the show. You can also watch the show over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube channel and hang out with us over there as well. When we come back, is there a major holdup in a potential Ketel Marte trade? That's next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
James out west.
7 teams to decline a bowl game. I feel like we shouldn't be able to do that.
Certain teams, I can understand. Notre Dame, you're a top-notch team. You have a lot of recruiting you need to retain. I kind of get that. Temple, what are you doing? Who are you to be turning down bowl games? What major recruits are you losing that are in off-season mode at Temple? There should be some parameters around that, but the season is officially over. These are invitations. You can decline an invitation. So I see it from both sides.
Every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Florence and the Machine presents the Everybody Scream Tour. Live at Desert Diamond Arena, Saturday, May 9th. The incomparable Florence and the Machine returns.
with special guest Mannequin Pussy. On sale now at livenation.com. The new album, Everybody Scream, available now.
Everybody scream.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning, one heavy metal tee at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
You won't believe everything I just saw. I went to Disneyland, and it was the 70th celebration. First, I went to Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Live, and I danced with Goofy. I even got Dad to do the hot dog dance. He's not bad, actually. At night, I saw this parade. Everything was glowing. There were all these lights and colors. Sorcerer Mickey was there, and Lightning McQueen. Oh, then I went to this giant water show with all the Inside Out characters. And I was like, whoa. And then my parents were like, whoa. Oh, and guess what? Bluey and Bingo are coming for real life.
Make memories that last a lifetime during the 70th celebration. From Paint the Night Parade returning January 30th to World of Color Happiness. And with Bluey and Bingo coming soon. Happiness is everywhere at the Disneyland Resort. Visit Disneyland.com for details.
Nothing can stop us now.
This winter, step into a world of wonder at the Tianyu Lights Festival, open now through January 4th at Camelback Ranch, Glendale, and Phoenix. Explore the 4 new themes: Bugs Aglow, Colors of Holidays, Rainforest, and Prehistoric Animals, which feature 70 glowing handcrafted lanterns. Enjoy delicious foods and beverages at our food court, explore the interactive lanterns, and complete your visit with a trip to the marketplace where you'll find unique souvenirs. Don't miss this unforgettable holiday experience. Tickets are available now.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner at A1 Garage Door Service. Most repairs are simple, but if left untreated, they can turn into costly repairs. Your garage door works hard every day, and a little maintenance goes a long way. We fix garage doors fast with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. From repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one. Call A1 Garage Door Service, and you'll be smiling today.
A1garage.com. A1 from day one.
On your ride home from work, join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Beerstein.
If we owned our own football team called the Angry Roosters, and we kept signing people to contracts, and they weren't honoring their contracts and kept demanding raises, at what point do we throw our hands up and just say no to everybody? We signed you to a contract. Play out your contract, and that's it. You earn a better contract on your next one, we'll pay you for that.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
The MLB winter meetings are in the rearview mirror. Doesn't mean that things can't get done. In fact, the Braves picked up a reliever today, Robert Suarez. They signed to a 3-year deal. Cubs made a move for a left-handed reliever. So things are still happening. You don't have to just be under the same roof at the winter meetings for stuff to happen, and things will continue to happen. And one of the things that everybody in this town is monitoring is the future of Ketel Marte. I thought it was interesting. Bob Nightingale said that the Diamondbacks, when they got to the winter meetings, were operating with the idea that Ketel Marte was going to remain a member of their roster, and they left the winter meetings under the impression that Ketel Marte is going to be playing elsewhere. Kind of lines up with some of the stuff we've been saying this week, that this is just too out in the open for it to be put back into the bottle and for Ketel Marte to be on the opening day roster for the Diamondbacks in 2026. The rumors aren't this loud for something that's not going to end up happening. And I read a piece this morning from Ken Rosenthal over at The Athletic, kind of giving a lay of the land, a bit of an update as to where things stood with the Ketel Marte market. And shouldn't surprise anybody, he classified the Diamondbacks as looking for a, quote, superstar type return. Well, yeah, because Ketel Marte is a superstar. So, of course, I would want a superstar-like return. I feel like people outside of Arizona don't understand how good Ketel Marte is. He's a superstar. Best second baseman in the sport. Best contract value-wise in the sport. Of course, the Diamondbacks are going to ask for the moon for a player of this caliber. But Ken Rosenthal brought up something that we spent many moons ago discussing here on this program, wondering aloud if a team would feel comfortable giving up the large price tag for somebody that they have to make sure is a clubhouse fit for them. Now, you're always wanting to make sure that somebody is going to be a fit in your clubhouse, but with Ketel Marte, it's kind of the type of story that takes on a life of its own because of the situation that emerged around the All-Star break, into the trade deadline, into the month of August, about Ketel Marte not being around the team, his team being upset about that, Geraldo Perdomo needing to come out and telling everybody to knock it off, that we love Ketel, he's our teammate, we don't want to talk about this anymore, Ketel Marte needing to then issue the apology. You were all there. You all went through the day-to-day with that along with us. So a team that's going to give up a superstar-type return, because that's what the Diamondbacks are looking for, has to make sure that he's a good clubhouse fit. They have to make sure that there's not going to be those issues when they acquire said player. Now, Boston is the team that Ken Rosenthal throws out there. He also says that there are 3 unidentified teams in the mix. The Red Sox feel like a team that could be the perfect fit. Alex Cora might be the perfect manager to get through to Ketel Marte and might be able to. Now, you worry a little bit about the Boston media. If they struggle, if Ketel Marte is not playing every day, it's a lot quieter here in Phoenix than it would be in Boston. But at the end of the day, if they're winning, I think it kind of gets put on the back burner. If he's putting up big numbers, it kind of gets put on the back burner. But that may potentially be the holdup. A team is going to have to give up a hefty price tag. And I'm going to share with you just a second 2 names that one team might have to give up in order to get Ketel Marte in a trade to show you how high this price tag might be. You don't want to do that. You don't want to give up a lot if you're concerned about the player being a fit. Now, I think a lot of teams are going to evaluate this and feel like they have a good clubhouse. They have the right leaders. They have the right manager. I mean, I think about some of the teams that have been linked to this, right? Toronto. Does anybody worry about the clubhouse up in Toronto? No, I'm not worried about the clubhouse up in Toronto. Alex Cora in Boston, I don't worry about the clubhouse. They got rid of Devers because they had that back and forth. So maybe there's a little worry there, but Cora feels like he has a really good finger on the pulse of that clubhouse. I think of Tampa, a very well-run organization that would be able to handle that. The Phillies have been mentioned, and they've got a lot of personality in there, right? They should be fine being able to handle that. So none of the teams that have been mentioned so far, I look at and I go, ooh, do they have the right manager? Do they have the right clubhouse? Do they have the right media market for this? I don't worry about it at all. Now, I mentioned Tampa there because they've been mentioned in the past, and Nick Picoro also mentioned of 2 names that are of interest to the Arizona Diamondbacks and might need to come back in a trade with Tampa for Ketel Marte. That's Shane Baz and Ryan Pepio. And Shane Baz and Ryan Pepio are 2 of the more intriguing names you're going to hear thrown out there on the pitching side of things for the Diamondbacks in these talks. Because both of these guys are young starters. Baz is 26 years old. Pepio's only 28. These are guys that started last year for the Rays. Baz made 31 starts. So did Pepio. That was Baz's first full season as a starter. He went 10-12 with a 4.87 ERA and 31 starts, although a lot of the underlying numbers
huge nerd
say that he should have pitched a lot better than that 4.87 ERA. Pepio was 11-12 with a 3.86 ERA and 31 starts. It was his second full year as a starter. Pepio was the main centerpiece in the Tyler Glasnow trade that the Dodgers and Rays made a couple of off seasons ago. So these are 2 really solid pitching options. They're under 30, under team control. They don't have a ton of innings. They do have some injury history in their background, but guys who made 30-plus starts last year, they're young, a lot of upside, good stuff. The thing that worries me, the only thing that worries me, is Tampa wants to give them away because they check every box for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and Tampa is a very well-run organization. Now, maybe Tampa understands you need to give in order to get, but when Houston calls about trading somebody away, or when Tampa calls or Cleveland calls about trading somebody away, these small market teams and these small market GMs, I always get worried when they're interested in trading players that I think are good. Makes me rethink things a little bit. I get a little worried. What am I missing here? Why do they want to give up Baz and Pepio? But I also think they understand that pitching is a surplus for them. They're always able to churn out solid starters. It's kind of been the calling card down there in Tampa. And they know that the Diamondbacks are going to be looking for big league starters, and Baz and Pepio might fit that bill and could get that deal done. I'll tell you right now, I'd do that deal if I was the Diamondbacks. That's 2 starters that immediately fit into my rotation. Pushes Eduardo Rodriguez down to basically be my number 5 starter. My top of the rotation is Ryan Nelson, Shane Baz, Ryan Pepio, Brendan Pfaadt, Eduardo Rodriguez. You feel a lot better about the stability of the rotation.
You feel great.
I would love this move.
I would love this move for them. But you're right. Like, when's the last time you've seen Tampa lose a deal?
Right. That's the worry. Is them being willing to give this up. And again, most teams that are going to acquire Ketel Marte are going to win the deal. Like the Diamondbacks aren't going to get the better end of this deal because Ketel Marte is the other side of the trade, right? Ketel Marte, best second baseman in the sport. And again, going back to what I said about the clubhouse fit, teams are going to be enamored with the numbers on Ketel Marte. Look at what he's done over the last couple of years, being an MVP candidate, being an all-star, putting up big numbers. That's going to override any clubhouse
and the
concerns.
contract.
And the contract.
Is guess what? If he's a locker room problem in New York as a Yankee, if he's a locker room problem as a Red Sox, as a Philly, okay on the contract. They'll eat it. They will eat it. That's why these bigger market teams are willing to take on that risk.
And again, I said it at the top. Bob Nightingale said that the Diamondbacks came into the winter meetings with the impression that Ketel Marte was going to stay. They left the winter meetings with the impression that he was going to leave, that they were going to find a trade that they could tolerate, that checked the boxes for them, that fit what they were looking for in a return. And that tells me all I need to know. I feel even better about buying the take from yesterday's show that this happens within a week. I just, where there's smoke, there's fire, and there's a lot of smoke around this right now. You got names being thrown out there. You got Ken Rosenthal devoting the top side of his column today to the latest on the market. And yeah, he tries to throw some cold water saying that teams have to feel comfortable with the clubhouse fit. I think they're going to be mesmerized by the contract, and they're going to be mesmerized by who Ketel Marte is as a player. Because when he plays, he is one of the best players in the sport. When he plays, he's one of the best players at his position. When he plays, he's an MVP candidate. And that's what they're going to get mesmerized by. And they're going to be willing to give in order to get that type of player on that type of deal into their building. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, a little buy or sell to close up hour number 1 of the show, the hottest takes in the Valley. We will get to them next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the Valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
I get by with a little help from my friends.
Ringo Starr and his all-star band. With friends, Steve Lukather from Toto. From Men at Work, Colin Hay. From Average White Band, Hamish Stewart. Friday, June 12th, 7:30 p.m., Gamage Auditorium. On sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Produced by Danny Zalesko Presents.
Hey, Benjamin, we've got a surprise for you.
What?
You've got brothers.
Huh?
$50 and $200 bills just like you.
Hey.
What?
We just got them for joining America First Credit Union and opening a new checking account.
And we're all going to live together at America First.
What? This is nice.
For a limited time, new members get a $250 cash bonus when they open a checking account with direct deposit or $50 with a youth checking account. So head to AmericaFirst.com and get your money working today. Membership eligibility, terms, and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hellsberg gifts checked off the list. Now, time for wrapping. Earrings for mom. A gold bracelet to match the rings Danielle wears every day. And for dad, a new watch, because we all know he needs one. All right, this is going to be a good one.
Our favorite things for your favorite people. Shop in store at Hellsberg.com for up to 50% off.
'Tis scratches season, and all through the state, the Arizona Lottery is giving people something to celebrate. Grab your friends and gather round for the chance to win $250,000 with cash countdown. Peppermint scented candy cane cash is available at any Arizona Lottery retailer in a flash. Gift these and 4 more games for any reason, because there are more than $80 million in prizes this season. This year and all, we wish you a happy holiday. From Arizona Lottery, love the play.
You're listening to the Jim Rome Show.
The Lane Kiffin reinvention arc went from one of the truly feel-good stories in the game to him once again becoming public enemy number one. I have no issue with him leaving. It's how he left, burning all bridges yet again. You strung Ole Miss along. You turned it into a complete circus, and then you were bent when they wouldn't let you coach them in the playoff? Get out of here with that. It's natty or bust for you at LSU, Lane.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m., Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060.
Back here on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060. Thanks for hanging out with us today on the program. Little buy or sell to close up hour number 1. I got to tell you, remember how yesterday during the show I said that I was dealing with a migraine? Didn't go away till this morning when I woke up.
Gone now?
Oh, when I woke up this morning, it was gone. But I went home. I took 2 different naps. I took 2 showers.
See, when I'm bad headache, migraine, I go cold shower.
So, no, I'm a warm shower guy.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like the cold shower helps me.
So you might be right. The warm shower, I just sit in for like 25 minutes. Whereas the cold shower, I don't think I could do that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I will say sometimes I run a bath.
I don't hate that idea at all.
Turn the lights off. Just be in total darkness.
Are you an ice pack on the head guy at all?
No. That doesn't do a whole lot for me.
See, that helps me. That's like instant relief.
And I did everything. I take that back. This type of migraine, I knew the ice pack wouldn't work. Sometimes if I have an ice pick headache right on the top of my head, we have in the house, we have a cap in the house.
Nice.
And I will wear the ice pack cap. And that usually will help that
Okay,
type of
nice,
headache.
yeah.
But the migraine I had yesterday
wasn't going to help.
No, I had to take 2 separate naps, and I didn't even feel good until I woke up this morning. And so I've got the blue light glasses on today.
Helping out.
I don't want to go right. I don't want to trigger another one.
I think that's all good points there.
So, with that in mind, what do we have in buy or sell today?
Devin Booker will be back like you are today by the Suns' next game Sunday against the Lakers.
The Suns play the Lakers because those are the teams that lost in the NBA Cup. So they'll play over the weekend. No, I will sell this take. He's back on Thursday against Golden State, the 18th. He's back a week from today.
So I got a question for you. The Suns have off till Sunday.
That's what you were telling me. Remember, I have a piece of paper schedule in here that is requiring me to do math.
No, I know. But the Suns have off till Sunday, right? Where they play the Lakers. Then they have off till Thursday where they play the Warriors. Are they going to add another game in there?
No. Oh, they will just play. I'm pretty sure they would just play the Warriors on Thursday.
Yeah, because the finals
is the 16th. The finals is in 5 days.
And it doesn't count for the regular season for those teams.
Right. So
you'd only have to make up the one.
You only have to make up the one, which they are making up.
Perfect. Sorry, bad math there for a second.
No, it's quite all right. It's quite all right.
I'm a huge nerd.
It's okay.
The Cardinals will end up picking in the top 5 of the draft. Currently, they are tied at the number 8 spot at 3-10 with the New York Jets, the Washington Commanders, the New Orleans Saints, the Cleveland Browns, all at 3-10. If they were first out of the 3-10 teams, they would pick 4th.
They would. The problem is their strength of schedule is going to work against them because the way that the ties get broken for the NFL draft, just to enlighten our audience, is if multiple teams have the same record, It goes based on who has that worst record against the weakest strength of schedule, meaning you suck against teams that you shouldn't suck against. That's how Cleveland ends up picking fourth, because their strength of schedule is a 486, whereas the Cardinals is a 570. You want to know who you can thank for that? Everybody else in the NFC West.
Yes.
3 teams that have 9 wins or more.
And whereas Cleveland, yeah, Pittsburgh and Baltimore
Baltimore's
and
not very good.
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati isn't very good, so that helps them in that regard. They will pick inside the top 5. Are you ready for this? Because you don't know this, but I do. The Saints play the Jets.
The Saints play. So you got one's already out.
Now they can tie, but one of those teams more than likely is going to win. So that moves you up to at least 7.
So now you're at 7.
I got to find 2 more spots.
Cleveland.
Does Cleveland play any of the other teams?
I mean, they would have been such a big win if they were able to.
Because what you would love is for Cleveland to like beat New Orleans and then New Orleans to beat the Jets.
Cleveland plays the Bengals the last week of the year.
That doesn't really go Cincinnati. Oh, no, go Cleveland.
Go Cleveland.
Go
but,
Cleveland.
you know, Burrow's not having fun anymore. Maybe he doesn't play in that one.
Who does Washington play? They're going with Mariota this Sunday.
Yeah, I think they should for the rest of the year. They play the Giants.
Oh, they play the number 1 pick.
They play the New York Football Giants.
That's one of those games that helps everybody.
They have Giants, Eagles, Cowboys, Eagles. They finished 4 straight division games.
Either the Giants are going to have to pick up their 3rd win or Washington picks up their 4th win.
And there's a chance, like if the Eagles the Eagles win their next 2, they could be playing for nothing. Like they could be locked in as the 3 seed.
So they could bench
in week 18 and sit some guys.
They could. I'll buy this. I think there's a path because let me tell you, we're going to talk about this in hour number 2 of the program. The Cardinals don't stand a chance on Sunday. I'm going to give you all the reasons why it's going to be another ugly performance on Sunday. At least it's early in the day. That's an 11 o'clock game.
Yeah, you're gonna get out of there.
You'll have the rest of the afternoon.
If I can be very honest with people, have the Cardinals on the TV.
TV. The Cardinals are on the tablet on Sunday.
Maybe go Cards tablet. I'm interested in that Bills Patriots game there in that same window. The Thunder will go down as the best NBA team ever.
Well, that's going to require them to hit the number, right?
That is.
Because they'll have to get to 76?
I will tell you exactly what it is.
What did the Warriors get to? The Warriors got to 75.
The 73-9.
73. So
by the 15-16 Warriors, who broke the 72 record by the 96 Bulls.
So we've got to get to 74-8 to be the greatest regular season team of all time.
Oh my God, they're smashing that pace.
I ask you this question. Do you see the Oklahoma City Thunder losing 7 more games this season?
I just want to be very honest. I don't know if they're going to lose 3 more.
Right. Now, injuries happen. They're going to rest some guys, but do you see that team losing 7 more times?
No.
I certainly don't.
I think they're going to go down as the greatest team ever.
Getting to 74 would do that. Now, the Warriors, and I remember this being a big story at the time, they were obsessed with setting that record. Obsessed with going down as the greatest regular season team in the history of the sport. I don't know this. I'm asking aloud.
Blocked by James.
Does Oklahoma City have that same obsession?
I don't know.
Because I think it takes that type of obsession to do this.
It does. It totally does.
Because you're going to
towards the end of the year.
Because your head coach is going to have to watch the games with 2 hands covering his face because he doesn't want anyone to get hurt when they've locked up the 1 seed in March.
You have to be obsessed with it.
You have to be obsessed. Are they obsessed?
Can you believe that Warriors team did not win the finals?
Well, they can thank Draymond Green for that.
Blocked by James.
Again, they can also thank Draymond Green for that. Right? He got suspended that series, correct?
Who cares? Who cares?
Cleveland cares. Got him their first championship. Hour number 1 of the program in the books. When we come back, now we get to see what this Suns team's made of. That's next, the lunch break. KDUS, AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Give and get back with Fresh Start. When you donate up to $495 filing as an individual or $987 filing jointly or married, you can receive a dollar-for-dollar credit on your Arizona state taxes, reducing what you owe or increasing your refund. Your donation helps women access the tools they need to secure jobs, support their families, and fulfill their highest potential. And when women succeed, our entire economy benefits. Uplift our community and give a woman a fresh start today by donating at freshstartwomen.org.
Motley Crue, the return of the Carnival of Sins. September 16th, Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. The Crue celebrates the 20th anniversary of Carnival of Sins. Motley Crue, with performances by Tesla and Extreme. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Motley Crue, part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
I have a great idea.
Oh boy.
Here it comes. Let's go caroling.
Don't wanna.
Gary, I love the holiday spirit, but this is a busy time at Alaskan AC.
Don't wanna.
Folks are calling for repairs. We have Alaska vacations to do.
I don't wanna.
Yeah, and that. I don't want to.
Oh, come on. Here, look at the sheet music.
This song?
Oh, I see where you're going.
It goes like this.
If you want your furnace to last all winter long, with an Alaska fabrication, it will always blow strong.
Yes. Really get you in the spirit.
I'm not sure we should go door to door and
That's
sing.
a great idea. We'll go door to door and sing. A 1 and a 2.
If you want your furnace to last all winter long, with an Alaska fabrication, it will always blow strong.
We'll get snowballs thrown at us.
People will have snow brought in just to throw at us.
You guys are on the naughty list.
I'm good with that.
Makes no difference to me.
Oh, Grinch. Schedule an Alaska vacation at AlaskanAC.com.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lerner & Rowe, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
For nearly 25 years, Primavera has helped thousands of Arizona students succeed with an accredited world-class education, tuition-free and from home. Don't wait. Enroll today at chooseprimavera.com. That's chooseprimavera.com.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Hour number 2 of the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060. Thanks for hanging out with us today on the show. Chris Schubert, producer Evan with you. Make sure you download the KDUS AM 1060 app so you can take us with you on the go. I promise this will be the last time we talk about this because I'm sure you want to move on from it. I know we want to move on from it. The NBA Cup run for the Phoenix Suns came to an end last night. Embarrassing fashion, a 138-89 loss against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Blown out, 49-point loss, embarrassed. Just got beat by the best team in the sport, potentially the greatest regular season team in the history of the NBA. Just didn't have it. You didn't have Devin Booker. You didn't have Jalen Green. It was an uphill battle, and it wasn't even close. Wasn't even competitive. You got embarrassed. National television, everybody paying attention to you. I just want to throw the game in the trash, and I want to move on. But I do think this type of game provides an opportunity for us to see what this team is made of. It gives us a glimpse into the pride of this team because my gut tells me they're not going to want us to remember this for very long. They're going to want to have a very quick response on Sunday when they take on the Lakers. They're going to want a very quick response when they play Golden State next week. Dylan Brooks gives me that type of vibe. Colin Gillespie gives me that type of vibe. Jordan Ott gives me that type of vibe. The vibes around this team tell me they want us to forget about this just as much as we want to forget about it. And so now we get to see what this team is made of. And I will tell you, so far this season, overall, this Suns team has done a pretty nice job responding. They had that 4-game losing streak at the beginning of the year while they were still trying to get their sea legs underneath them. They won 2 games. They beat Utah and San Antonio. Then they dropped 1 in Golden State. Their response to that was to rattle off, 5 in a row? Clippers twice, New Orleans, Dallas, Indiana. They then lost to Atlanta at home. Remember that game? They blew that huge fourth quarter lead that evaporated at home against Atlanta. What were they up, like 18, 20 points at home? Boom, gone like that. You could consider that an embarrassment, allowing a huge fourth quarter lead to evaporate. How did they respond? They beat Portland in Portland, Minnesota in an NBA Cup game, and San Antonio at home. That was their response to an embarrassing home loss in which they blew a big lead to Atlanta. Every reason for that to start a slide, it didn't. They won those 3 games. They lost against Houston at home. How did they respond? They went to Sacramento, handled their business. Yes, then they lost to Oklahoma City in a group game for the NBA Cup. Then they played Denver. They lost to them. How'd they respond to those 2 games? They went into LA, the second best team in the Western Conference. They beat the Lakers. They then lost against Houston. How did they respond? No Devin Booker. They win the way that they did on Monday with a really tough, gritty effort against the Timberwolves. This team so far, at 14-11 is where they sit right now after that loss to Oklahoma City. They've responded to some adversity before. Now, granted, none to the level of a 49-point blowout to the best team in the NBA, but that Atlanta game, that early 4-game losing streak, losing to Houston twice, they've responded both times. They've done a great job when they've seen a team a second time this season, where if they've seen a team once, they're like 6-3 when they've seen that team a second time this year or the next time they've seen that team. So we're going to get to see what this team is made of, and they've already laid out the breadcrumbs. They've already shown you the hints of who they are as a team. They are not going to allow this loss to define them. They are not going to allow this loss to start a skid because Devin Booker is going to come back, whether it's on Sunday or whether it's next week. The fact that he was upgraded to questionable certainly puts Sunday's game against the Lakers on the table because he has today, he has tomorrow, he has Saturday, and he has all of Sunday to get ready for that contest. So he could play that game on Sunday. You get him back, and you can get back to your winning ways when you beat Portland, when you beat Minnesota, when you beat San Antonio, when you beat the Lakers. You did that mostly with Devin Booker. You did it without Jalen Green, but you did it mostly with Devin Booker. So we've seen what this team is capable of. And everything that we have seen through 25 games of this season tells me last night's not going to define this group. It's a bad loss. It's an embarrassing loss. It happens. You move on. You don't let it define you. And this group feels like they have the mental strength to not let it define them because they've shown you that mental strength all throughout this season. They've lost key players for a considerable amount of time. They started this new era on a 4-game losing streak after almost losing their home opener to Sacramento. Had to make a big comeback or else it would have been a 5-game losing streak. They battled back from that. They battled back from blowing a huge fourth quarter lead against Atlanta. This team has some battle scars. And I feel like this game last night against Oklahoma City is just going to be another battle scar. Now, they need Devin Booker back healthy. That appears to be on the forefront. That appears to be within the next week or a matter of days. And so we're going to get to see what this team is made of. But I don't know about you, Producer Evan. I'm not worried in the slightest. I'm not worried one bit about this team and this 49-point loss to Oklahoma City being the start of a slide, being the start of us seeing the real Phoenix Suns this season. I think last night's game is going to be put in the proper context. It is going to be taken. It is going to be thrown in the trash, and this team is going to move on because they've done a great job of moving on from bad performances all season long.
I mean, all year long, in games that they've lost, they've come back and pretty much answered the bell. 6-4 after games they've lost. That includes the 4-game losing streak early in the year.
So three of those losses
are from that.
So
since then, they're 6-1 coming after a loss. They only lost back-to-back games when it was at Oklahoma City and then home against Denver.
2 of the best teams in the sport.
2 of the best teams in the sport. So I have no fear in saying this team can't answer that bell. They've lost by 15 plus. Last night was the 6th time. And I know it's not 15, it's 50. But they've come out and answered the bell on all of those too, right? 3-2 2 of those coming in that 4-game losing streak. So they've done this. They've answered that call. What have they showed me to not believe they'll come back? And I get it. It's a 50-point loss and not 20 or 12. But it's a loss. And if you look at it as just a loss, which I think they will, then you come back and you bounce back and you get healthy.
And they've done that a bunch of times this season. You pointed out they're 3-2 after losing by 15 games. And in those games, they average 118 points per game. They respond. They respond in a big way. They respond by providing it on the offensive end. Now, I think they need Devin Booker back to help stabilize things a little bit because it's just harder to find the scoring when he's not around. But last night is not going to define this team because the other losses, the 4-game losing streak, didn't define this team. The blown fourth quarter lead to Atlanta didn't define this team. In fact, what has defined this team so far this season is their resiliency. What has defined this team so far this season is that they hang around when you don't think they should hang around. They bring it on nights where you expect them not to be able to bring it, like against Minnesota, where they've given Houston a run, where they're 2-0 against San Antonio this season. In games where you expect them to get run over because they're not on the same level, they have answered the bell. They have answered the call. And yeah, it's a tough draw against the Lakers coming up here as the game out of the NBA Cup being eliminated. But I'm not worried about this team providing the energy and bringing it, especially if Devin Booker is back on Sunday when they take on the Lakers. I expect them to bring the energy, and I expect to see the response that we have seen so many times this season because it has defined them. Last night is one bad loss. And I don't know. This would be an interesting kind of pulse check, and the YouTube chat can respond to this. We'll take some phone calls on it if people want to get involved, 480-864-1060. Are you allowing last night's game to worry you, or are you doing what we're doing? Sometimes I feel like I'm preaching, and I'm preaching something that's not in the minds of everybody. Maybe everybody isn't worried about last night. I don't know. I think most people are rational fans with the way this season has started. And I would assume most fans are taking that game and throwing it in the trash and realizing that it's not symbolic of who this team is. But you get blown out by 49 against Oklahoma City. I can understand somebody being irrational to that and saying that it could be the start of something. I just don't think it is. I think you put the game in its proper context and you move along. Because boy, was that ugly. And I hope that this is the last time we talk about this game. I hope that we don't look back at this game as the start of a slide. I hope that we don't look back on this game as where the season turned and went sideways for the Phoenix Suns. I hope we just look at this as a footnote of, yeah, they had that great NBA Cup run. They didn't have Devin Booker, and they ran into the buzzsaw that is the Oklahoma City Thunder, because that's what they are. They're the best team in the sport. They're going to more than likely break the record because there's no signs of them slowing down. They've won, 16 games in a row?
Yes.
They're going to win the NBA title. There's a decent chance they win the NBA Cup. There's a decent chance that they set the regular season wins record, and they might win back-to-back titles. It might be the greatest regular season in the history of the sport.
It's going to be.
If they do all those things.
This is going to be.
That's the team you faced last night.
The greatest team in the history of the sport. And you played them without your 2 best scoring options, arguably your 2 best players.
No, not arguably. The 2 best players on the Phoenix Suns are Devin Booker and Jalen Green. And
you could put in the argument for Mark Williams.
Okay, you did not have 2 of your 3 best players last night. Who do you expect to beat in the sport when you don't have 2 or 3? You're the Phoenix Suns.
That's the conversation we're having.
2 of your 3 best players out. Who are you beating? Who are you better than? You were better than Minnesota the other night. But other than that, I think that list is very, very small. So I'm not worried about it. They're 6-4 in games after a loss. They're 3-2 in games after losing by 15. They've shown that resiliency all throughout the year, and they're going to continue to show it because now we're going to get to see what this team is made of. And I think just like they've done all season long, they're going to answer the bell. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also hang out with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, it is the Schubert Scale for Week 15, how I see the top 5 teams in the NFL. We have Evan's risers as well. We'll get to it next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
The Chiefs have had some really bad calls against them this year as well. I'm sure everyone listening is going to roll their eyes and say, well, the last 7 years the Chiefs have had great calls. Maybe they have, but there should be no makeups. There should be great refereeing or the best available refereeing every week. And in a lot of games this year, there's been a lot of bad calls. The Chiefs have been part of that.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Sticks. The hits. Live at Celebrity Theater. Friday and Saturday, January 9th and 10th. With special guest Max Gomez. Tickets on sale now at celebritytheater.com. A trip through all their best. Don't miss Sticks Live. Produced by Danny Zalisco Presents.
Right now at Del Taco, you can get 2 grilled chicken tacos for just $3. You hear that? That's the real sizzle of a real grill. At Del Taco, we freshly grill our marinated chicken right here in our kitchens. Not some factory far, far away. It's what makes our grilled chicken tacos a top seller for over 30 years. So come get 2 grilled chicken tacos, made to order for only $3. A real good deal we can all use right now. Only at Del Taco. Price and participation may vary.
Hi, Jan from Toyota here to let you know that Toyotathon is on. And what better way to get in the spirit of the season than with a new Toyota, like RAV4, Grand Highlander, and Corolla Cross. But to really get in the spirit, let's sing about it. So without further ado, driving through the snow in a new RAV4, hooray. To the slopes we go in a Highlander for a ski day. A Camry to get hot cocoa, tubing with a Tundra makes the kids go loco. Oh, what fun it is to make holiday wishes come true. Toyotathon, Toyotathon, Toyotathon is on. Oh, what fun it is to drive a new Toyota today. Hey! Presto, a new holiday classic. Let's sing it again. Toyotathon, Toyotathon, Toyotathon is on.
Dealer inventory may vary. Toyotathon ends January 5th. See your participating dealer for details.
Have you guys tried these holiday cookies? They're so good.
Toyota, let's go places.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. College football world was jolted yesterday when Sharon Moore was officially relieved of his duties as Michigan's head coach. Details surrounding the decision are still coming into focus, but from a purely football standpoint, the Wolverines now find themselves in a brutal spot. The coaching carousel has already spun a couple of times. The premier candidates have signed extensions or landed elsewhere. Michigan is late to the party, and late in college football almost always means vulnerable. This is where the margin for error disappears. If Michigan wants to salvage stability, they have to move quickly. Look no further than Penn State. The Nittany Lions waited too long after James Franklin's departure, and their recruiting class catered. Michigan cannot afford a sequel, not with rivals already circling the roster, hoping to weaponize NIL offers and pry away some great players. If Michigan drags its feet, the damage will extend far beyond than just losing a head coach. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise.
This holiday season, skip the same old gifts and send something that's truly unforgettable. From Heartland Steak Company, we're talking premium, hand-cut Midwestern meats such as USDA Prime and Choice Beef, all-natural pork, and tender chicken, all delivered straight to their door with care and convenience. Whether you're shopping for family, friends, clients, or anyone who appreciates bold flavor and quality meats, Heartland Steak Co. has something for everyone. Choose from Grillmaster packages, holiday gift boxes, or freezer fillers, each one hand-picked, flash frozen, and packed to preserve unbeatable freshness and taste. It's the perfect way to share the true Midwest flavor this season. Ordering is quick and easy at heartlandsteakco.com. And when you order right now and spend $199.99 or more, you'll receive free shipping plus $25 off your order with promo code GIFT. Give the gift of flavor this holiday season with Heartland Steak Co. That's heartlandsteakco.com. And don't forget to use promo code GIFT. Taste the Heartland difference.
It's the Dan Patrick Show.
Shohei Ohtani had 2 home runs, 2 doubles. They also walked him 5 times, 4 intentionally. They've gotten to the point where he's getting Bonds treatment. I want you to pitch in shame. If you're going to intentionally walk him, I want you to throw the 4 pitches that look silly because you don't want to face him. I don't want it to be, hey, we're going to walk him and I point him to first base. Nope. I want you to acknowledge that you can't get him out and you throw those 4 pitches.
Weekdays, 7 to 10 a.m., right here on KTUS AM 1060 and the KTUS 1060 app.
The Week 15 Schubert Scale. How I see the top 5 teams in the NFL as we enter another week of action. And I don't know about you, producer Evan. This was tough this week. Got a lot of great teams.
I'll be honest. I think this was one of my easier weeks.
Because I have a couple of teams, HMs to the HMs.
You have what I had. Can't use them.
No. I'm not gonna share them with the listeners.
That stinks. Can't talk about them.
I'm just saying I have HMs to the HMs.
Can't talk about them.
I'll go first since the segment is named after me. Then we'll get to Evan's risers in a second. Start with my HMs. 3 AFC teams as my HMs this week.
Wow.
3 AFC teams as the HMs. We start in Jacksonville with the Jaguars, 9-4, leading this division, in prime position to host a home playoff game. Trevor Lawrence is playing well. The defense is great. They beat Indy last week, so we're going to put some respect on the Jacksonville Jaguars name, and we're going to put them as an HM. My second HM this week, another AFC team, mainly because I just love their defense. I have the Houston Texans as an HM. They have 2 top 10 pass rushers in Will Hernandez, which is the guard for the Cardinals. Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter, 2 top 10 pass rushers.
That is the best pass rush in the league.
They're very good.
They're very good.
Oh, by the way, their secondary
is also
elite.
Awesome.
CJ Stroud's playing.
By the way, they signed a starting safety this year. They cut him in week 4 in CJ Gardner-Johnson, who has been a great Bear, but they have not lost a step.
Yeah, they're fine. Everything's going well. They're 8-5. They're probably going to be a wild card team unless they can catch Jacksonville. But that defense, they just beat the Chiefs previously. I think they're going to absolutely slaughter Jacoby Brissett and this Cardinals offense. Well, we're going to share this in the next segment. I mean, the numbers are just they might have 10 sacks. What is the team record for most sacks in a single game? Because the Texans might break it on Sunday. So the Texans, they're an HM. My third HM. Another AFC team. Third AFC team.
A team has reached 12 sacks, and that has happened multiple times. The last team to do it was the New York Giants in 2007.
Yeah, well, the 2025 Houston Texans might have a word by the time we get to Monday. I've got the Los Angeles Chargers as my third HM this week. I think they can chase down the Broncos for the division. Good win against the Eagles. I know Herbert didn't play great, but he's doing enough just to win. The defense has been excellent. They got Amari and Hampton back. They can run the football.
I got to be honest with you. I have no idea where your 5 is going to go. Why? I did not think you would have the Chargers in the HMs.
You thought they would be in the top 5?
No, I thought they would be nowhere close.
So who do you think I left out?
You left one of. So you and I have some overlap here at the HM.
Okay.
I also have the Houston Texans. Yeah. I want to say this right now. There's not a team in the AFC that if you asked them who they want to play would tell you the Houston Texans.
No.
Because that defense gets after it, and they do it with the best of them. My second team, also the Jacksonville Jaguars. Somehow they do it. They are the Chicago Bears. Lawrence looked good this week, but he stinks.
They are the Chicago Bears of the AFC.
Yes, there's 2 Bears. Unfortunately, the Bears out after their loss for me of the HMs.
Yeah, no, they didn't make my list either.
But probably first team out because Honda Civic back on the road ladies and gentlemen. I got the Niners as my last HM.
Okay. My number 5 team. I'm back in on the Seattle Seahawks. I'm back in. Go to Atlanta. You play a close first half, but then you put your foot on the gas pedal and you run them over like you're supposed to. You're just supposed to dominate them, and that's exactly what you do. And you're just laying in wait for the Rams to slip up. You've got an MVP candidate. Your offensive coordinator is probably going to get a head coaching gig this offseason. You're just well coached. You execute well. You're number 5 for me on my list. Number 4. Doesn't have to be pretty. It certainly wasn't pretty. An investigation needs to be launched into how the game ended. I got the Denver Broncos at number 4. They just keep winning. What are they now? 11-2?
11-2.
Tied with the New England Patriots for the best record in the AFC, the best record in football. My number 3 team. I have a pair of statistics for you that are going to blow your mind when I share them with you. Because the Los Angeles Rams are in the 3 spot for me. This is from the official PR Twitter account of the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams' offensive line has not allowed more than 1 sack in 9 consecutive games, the longest active streak in the NFL, and 3 more games than the next closest team. I bring you that stat because if they're going to keep the pocket that clean for Matthew Stafford, you don't stand a chance against that team. Because mind you, speaking of the offensive line and their success, their rushing success rate, 51.4%, is the best in the sport. And it's clear of the second team by over 4%. So they're great at running the football. They protect the quarterback. Matt Stafford is an MVP candidate. I mean, what more do you need? They're well coached. They protect and keep Stafford upright. And if you're going to give him time, he's going to pick you apart with Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. It's exactly what they did on Sunday against the Arizona Cardinals. They're at number 3. Number 2, the Green Bay Packers, because they've got a quarterback nobody wants to talk about. Jordan Love has thrown many touchdowns this season as he has sacks and interceptions combined. 22 touchdowns for Jordan Love. He's been sacked 18 times and only has 4 interceptions. And potentially the most important stat that you're going to get about Jordan Love, because we are in the middle of Toyotathon. And Jordan Love, during Toyotathon in his career, 284 yards per game, 36 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. When it's not Toyotathon, and we looked up how long Toyotathon goes, not during Toyotathon, 220.3 yards per game, 44 touchdowns, 27 interceptions. Jordan Love in the peak of his season. He's got the lowest turnover rate among quarterbacks, and they have wins over the last 2 weeks against Detroit and Chicago.
Are you nervous that Toyotathon obviously ends January 5th?
No.
Saturday the 10th is when Wild Card Weekend starts?
No, I'm not worried. I'm not worried because right now they can stay in the number 2 spot. If they can move around based on the closer we get to Toyotathon and how they play. Number 1, they stay number 1, the 11-2 New England Patriots. You ready for this? This is their defense this season. 9th in EPA per play, 11th in EPA per pass, 9th in EPA per rush, 6th in yards after contact per rush, 12th in stuff rate, which is runs of 0 yards or less, and they're 19th in yards before contact rush.
I'm a huge nerd.
The only thing that worries me about these statistics is they haven't played anybody. So when you factor in the quality of their opponents, their DVOA, they're 25th overall, their pass defense is 27th, and their run defense is 16th. They haven't really played anybody. They played the Bills this week. I want to see how they play against this Buffalo team. The defense has been outstanding. You know what you know about Drake May. He's an MVP candidate. They stay in the number 1 spot for me this week.
Obviously, the Buffalo game doesn't matter, though. It's not a good team because not in your list or your HMs. Crazy. Buffalo Bills, number 5. The Buffalo Bills handle business, and they beat the Steelers 2 weeks ago, 26-7 with a explosion in the second half. They handled their business against the Bengals after what was a shaky start to that game. And listen, I know you and I had the same reaction in the second quarter. Oh my God, the Bengals are going to win out and they're going to win this division. That was what everybody in the world thought at 11:30?
Yeah.
Bills handle that, get it over, get the 2 defensive turnovers late in the game, win that game 39-34. They can win in a shootout. They can win in a slugfest. They had to do it last week. They lost to the Texans, who we think is one of the best teams in football. But you beat the Bucs by 12. You lost to Miami in a tough one. You handled your business against the Chiefs, and you smashed the Panthers on the road. And we know the Panthers are good because they beat the Rams.
Yes, the Panthers did beat the Rams.
Yes. My number 4 team, the Packers. For every reason you just said, the Packers deserve to be on this list. Are there concerns? Certainly. Is the quarterback as consistent as I want him to be? No, but in the moments of greatness.
And it's Toyotathon.
He is awesome. And late in the season, whether you want to call it Toyotathon or crunch time.
I saw the statistic. This was from the BetMGM put this stat out there.
Or crunch time in the NFL.
Toyotathon.
He gets better. And that's a matter of fact. Jordan Love has been one of the best quarterbacks in the month of December when it has mattered most. My number 3 team, the Seattle Seahawks. Talk about taking care of business. If you beat every bad team in the league by 20 plus, that at some point should count. You turn the ball over 5 times against the Rams. You only lost that game by 2 and had a chance to win it late. You had to slip up against the Titans, still were able to get a win, but only a 6-point win. Then you play Minnesota, a 26-point win at home. You go on the road to Atlanta, had a shaky first half. You end up winning that game by 28 points. The Seahawks have been taking care of business. They're number 3. Number 2, you read and took my statistic. But if you keep a clean pocket, he is the best quarterback in the sport. In the sport.
It's a problem. Like it's a problem.
In a clean pocket, if you could ask me who the best thrower of the football is, it's probably Josh Allen, and then it's Matthew Stafford. Because Matthew Stafford is a walk-in Hall of Famer, and in a clean pocket, welcome to the Super Bowl, the Los Angeles Rams. Because if they keep it that strong for the rest of the year, they're going to be hard to beat.
He's got 2 top 10 receivers. He's got the best offensive mind in the sport. Like if the pocket's gonna stay that clean, do you know how creative McVay can get? Like it's gonna be video game numbers every single week, and it basically has been all season long. They've been really impressive. They could threaten the number 1 spot here in the next couple of weeks.
I think they will.
They're 3 for me right now. They're what, 2 for you?
2 for me.
So,
I mean, listen, I would be very honest. If
the
Patriots lose this week,
doors open.
They're my number 1. They're my number 1. And my last one, Merry Bakemas, everybody. Drake May and the New England Patriots.
Oh, okay.
The best team in football.
Can I tell you what scared me in just a second?
What?
You said Bakemas. I'm like, you're not putting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers number 1 overall.
Oh, no.
That's
Have
where
you
my
not
brain
seen
went.
Ann Michael May?
No. You've explained this in the past. I'm just saying my brain, because I was distracted. I was looking at my phone, and all I heard was Bake, and I was like, Baker Mayfield, you cannot put the Tampa Bay Buccaneers number 1.
I had
they just lost to the Saints last week. Evans Risers was going to end right there in front of us all. It was going to be over. This segment was never going to happen again. Sorry. Continue to talk about Drake May and the New England Patriots, the best team in football.
Best team in football, and there's no doubt about it. They have the opportunity to play the Bills this week and cement themselves as the best team in football. This feels like a big one for them. Not even to mention, it's the old hat and T-shirt game. Or T-shirt hat game. If they win the division.
Oh, they get to put on the
T-shirt and hat.
The AFC East champs and then the caps. Yes. Okay. Fair enough. There you have it. Evans Risers and the Schubert Scale for Week 15 in the NFL. When we come back, will Drew Petzing and the Cardinals offense get exposed this Sunday by Houston? That's next. The lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
ASU women's basketball right here on KDUS AM 1060. Hop in this Sunday as head coach Molly Miller and the Lady Sun Devils look to square off against Oregon State. ASU has taken control of the court all season long and now look ready to show off their talents up in Oregon. Join Jeff Munn on the call live from the Beaver State. It's ASU versus Oregon this Sunday. Pregame at 1:30 and tip-off at 2 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
The other day I couldn't find my belt, and my wife found my belt, and as she brought it to me, she said, "Where would you be without me?" And I wanted to say, exactly here without the belt. In fact, I would have the belt because I would know exactly where it was in yesterday's pants on the floor. But now, we're not allowed to leave yesterday's pants on the floor, so I need a National Treasure-style map to find my one lousy belt.
Seth Meyers, live on stage, Saturday, March 14th, Talking Stick Resort. Tickets are on sale now at TalkingStickResort.com.
Hi, I'm Andrew the Homebuyer. In this holiday season, I want to give back. So for every home I buy, I'll donate $1,000 to St. Jude. By now, you already know I'll buy your house for cash in any condition, and I'll beat any other offer. And now by selling me your house, you can help out a family at St. Jude. So let's get your home sold quickly. Call me, Andrew the Homebuyer, today. Visit AndrewTheHomebuyer.com. That's AndrewTheHomebuyer.com.
Meet Barkley. When Barkley smells gas, he leaves fast. When Barkley hears hissing coming from a gas appliance, he leaves fast. When Barkley sees dirt or water shooting from the ground, he leaves fast. Barkley then calls 911 and Southwest Gas from a safe location.
Did that dog just grab a phone and dial 911?
Gas lines can be buried anywhere, so remember to call 911 and Southwest Gas.
At Zoo Lights, the Phoenix Zoo has everything you need to celebrate the season. Embrace the holiday spirit as millions of twinkling lights transform the zoo into a winter wonderland. With over 2 miles of glimmering tree-lined trails, dozens of animal lanterns, and the tallest floating tree in North America, featuring an all-new Lake Lights show. Warm up with s'mores, sip hot cocoa, and of course, get your photo with Santa. Zoo Lights, presented by SRP. Timeless tradition, endless wonder. Get tickets now at phoenixzoo.org.
One study found that half of all clients are unhappy with their lawyer. The number one complaint, a total lack of communication.
That's why we survey our clients and know over 97% are happy. Do your research. Call the husband and wife law team first.
All the planning, work, and preparation for the holidays. Why do we do it? In the blur of life, we can take our blessings for granted, distracted by the noise and our own interest. We gather to slow down and reflect on what truly matters, time with loved ones and cherishing simple moments. We gather to choose gratitude. Merry Christmas and happy holidays from all of us at Shields.
Hi, I'm Aaron, founder of Custom Deluxe Windows, wishing everyone a wonderful holiday season and an extra special thank you to the brave men and women in our military. If you need new windows or doors, call Custom Deluxe Windows today.
NAU men's basketball right here on KDUS AM 1060. Join the Lumberjacks as they travel to California to take on San Diego this Sunday. Head coach Shane Burkhardt knows his team can fight hard on the court and are ready to earn themselves a win on the road. Join Mitch Stroman live on the call this Sunday. It's NAU versus San Diego. Pregame at 3:30 p.m. and tip-off at 4 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
I wrote these teams down during the break, but these are the teams that I didn't mention at all in my Schubert scale. The Bills, the 49ers, the Bears, the Lions, and the Eagles. Just to show you where things are at in the NFL right now, those teams didn't make the cut for me. Some might say the HMs to the HMs, but I didn't consider all of these teams. But just to show you where things are at, and we talk about parity here on the show quite regularly, another example of the parity that exists right now in the NFL. The Cardinals will take on the Houston Texans this Sunday. The Texans, one of the teams that we did mention during the Schubert scale, trying to catch up to the Jacksonville Jaguars out in the AFC South. Try to make that a competitive race with a couple of weeks to go. And I will tell you, the more I look at this matchup on paper, the more concerned I get for everybody involved in the Arizona Cardinals organization. I don't even know where to start in trying to break down this game. But I think the place that we should start is just how, at a disadvantage, Drew Petzing and the Arizona Cardinals offense is going to be on Sunday. Another day in which, by the way, Marvin Harrison Jr. did not practice for the Arizona Cardinals. So wouldn't expect to see him on Sunday when they take on Houston. Still dealing with that heel injury. Didn't practice yet again today. This Houston team, we mentioned it in the Schubert Scale, 2 of the top 10 pass rushers in the sport in Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter, and that is to the tune of the 6th best sack percentage in the sport. Going up against an offensive line in the Arizona Cardinals that the eye test tells you isn't very good this season, but is 25th in sack percentage on offense. So strength against weakness, the strength being the pressure, the edge rushers of this Texans defense against a weakness of this Cardinals offense, their offensive line. How about a Houston pass defense that ranks 2nd in the opponent's completion percentage? Do you know that opposing quarterbacks complete 57% of the passes against this Texans defense? It's the 2nd best mark in the sport. That's number 2. 57% is number 2 in the sport. I would assume number 1 is Denver. But that's how good Houston's defense is. They're 3rd in yards per pass, 6.2. They're 3rd in passing yards per game at 172. They are just elite across the board, and I am just petrified at how many times they're going to get free looks at Jacoby Brissett in that backfield. That's the number I keep circling. The 8.1% sack percentage for Houston and the 8.1% quarterback sack percentage for the Cardinals offense. It is just a mismatch. But don't worry, it gets worse. We know the Cardinals can't run the ball. They're 28th in rushes per game. They're 26th in rushing yards per game. Well, it's not going to be this week where they find it because they're going up against a defense that is 11th in yards per rush, is 3rd in rushes per game, is 5th in rushing yards per game, is 10th in rushing touchdowns per game. It is a mismatch across the board. And it is going to be, my prediction, Sunday is going to be yet another example of how mismanaged this offseason was by the Arizona Cardinals on the offensive side of the ball. We are once again going to see why running it back and keeping the offensive coordinator and not making any changes to the offensive line, not making any changes to your personnel group, it has just come back to bite this team in the rear end. Paris Johnson Jr. was working on the side. He's not going to play on Sunday. Trey Benson, we know, has been shut down. Marvin Harrison Jr. is up in the air. What do the Arizona Cardinals have offensively that you are going to believe in? Do they score more than 10 points on Sunday? I joked earlier that the Texans might set the single game sack record. But would you be shocked if they get 7 or 8 sacks with Paris Johnson Jr. out on Sunday?
I just want to be clear. I would be shocked if the Cardinals are in double digits.
You'd be shocked if they scored 10 points?
Yes.
I mean, I don't blame you looking at these
offensively.
numbers.
Like maybe they fall on a fumble. But if they don't get a turnover and have to go the length of the field, this team will not score 10 points.
What are the Cardinals good at offensively right now? They're good at getting Michael Wilson the ball. Well, you know what DeMeco Ryans and this Houston Texans defense is going to do? They're just going to double Michael Wilson.
Or just put Derek Stingley out there.
Or they're going to dare you to throw that one-on-one ball against a team that has how many interceptions this year? Can you look up for me how many interceptions the Texans defense has and tell me where it ranks in the sport? Just to be on the safe side, I'll say top 5, but it might be top 3. It might be the most in the sport. This is an elite defense going up against an offense for the Arizona Cardinals that is, because of injuries, because of underperformance, one of the worst in the sport. It is the mismatch of all mismatches. I mean, it doesn't get any more lopsided than this. How are they going to stop? How is the Arizona Cardinals offensive line going to stop Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter? How are they going to get anything going in the passing game against this defense that allows only 172 yards per game on average, which is the 3rd best in the sport? That only allows the opposing quarterback to complete 57% of his passes. That allows 6 yards per pass. And by the way, your offense isn't anything to write home about. You only average 6.7 yards per pass. So you're playing right into the hands of the Houston Texans. Do you have the number for me?
I do right here, even though I just lost. There we go. Found the correct link. So currently, the Houston Texans have 15 interceptions, which is 2nd in football to only the Chicago Bears, who have 18, by the way.
That's the defense that this offense is going up against. This depleted, underperforming, not well-coached offense is going up against on Sunday. You thought the last couple of weeks have been bad for the Arizona Cardinals? I wouldn't be shocked if Sunday looks like last Sunday. I wouldn't be surprised if it looks like the last 3 divisional games that the Cardinals have played where they've given up 40 points and they haven't been able to score. How are they going to be able to move the ball this Sunday against this defense that is this good? They're not getting Trey Benson back. We know James Conner's out, so how are they going to run the ball against this great run defense, which is top 5 in the sport? How are they going to throw the ball? And they're already a team that's not known for being great at throwing the ball anyway. They're a mediocre to below average offense going up against an elite defense. What's the spread for this game? I might make it my 3-point play in the leftovers on a Thursday. That's how confident I am in this.
I want to say 10, but let me double check.
10? It's disrespectful to Houston.
I'm going to double check for you right here.
That is disrespectful to Houston if it's less than 2 touchdowns. What's the Cardinals'
9.5.
9.5.
Granted, the spread last week was 8.5.
9.5. I know Houston, C.J. Stroud got hurt. Their offense has been up and down, but 9.5. We wondered aloud 5 minutes ago if the Cardinals could score 10 points in this game. 9.5. I'm going to sleep on it, but I got to tell you, there might be 3 points.
Speaking of that, today's a Thursday. Are you going to use any points tonight?
I don't usually make that announcement until we get to the leftovers. No Drake London tonight.
Yeah, no Drake London is correct.
It is Atlanta, though. It is Thursday. What's the spread?
It's 5.5, Tampa.
Tampa minus 5.5.
Yes.
Boy, Tampa needs the game, too.
They lose this game. Panthers.
Oh, if they
got to take care of business in New Orleans.
If they lose this game, it's the Panthers' division to lose. 5.5.
I can tell you one of my plays this week will be Carolina minus 2.5.
You're locking yourself into Carolina minus 2.5.
I don't know what my point allotment is going to be, but yes.
I'm considering something. I want to take a timeout, though, and think about it, if that's all right with you.
I also feel like I have to play Rivers and the Colts.
Well, we did agree that if he was named the starter, we would take them plus the 13.5. So I'm already basically locked into that being my 1-point play. So I have to keep that 1-point spot open. So I'm really just dealing with my 2 and 3-point spots right now. Now, if we find out that Rivers isn't starting, then my 1-point play opens back up. But so same thing for you. Panthers minus the 2.5 has to either be your 2 or 3-point play.
That's what I'm thinking.
I think I'm making a play.
I got to tell you, I'm going to be all over the NFC South this week.
I'm considering making a play. And I will decide on it during the break, and you'll find out next when we do the leftovers. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
James out west.
7 teams to decline a bowl game. I feel like we shouldn't be able to do that.
Certain teams, I can understand. Notre Dame, you're a top-notch team. You have a lot of recruiting you need to retain. I kind of get that. Temple, what are you doing? Who are you to be turning down bowl games? What major recruits are you losing that are in off-season mode at Temple? There should be some parameters around that, but the season is officially over. These are invitations. You can decline an invitation. So I see it from both sides.
Every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app. The Marshall Tucker Band. Get ready for a night of legendary Southern rock and sing along to all the classics. The Marshall Tucker Band with special guest Firefall, bringing their timeless hits. February 28th at the Celebrity Theater. Tickets on sale now at celebritytheater.com. The Marshall Tucker Band and Firefall, brought to you by Danny Salisco Presents.
Fridays at 5, I'm out exploring. From hiking up Camelback to skiing at Snowbowl, the adventures never stop with AAA. It's membership that travels with me, whether behind the wheel or a passenger, in my ride, my buddies, or a rental. AAA's got 24/7 expert help with tows, battery help, and more. Plus branch services like free passport photos and trip planning. Membership gives you all this and more for less than $6 a month, and I can add loved ones for half off. Call or visit your local branch today. AAA, your membership to go.
Hi, I'm Emily, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company, where a small box with a burgundy bow will help you win the holidays. As an in-house designer, I love creating meaningful, fine jewelry gifts. Choose a necklace with a gorgeous infinity charm to symbolize your everlasting love. Or go for a personalized piece with an engraving, their zodiac sign, favorite color gemstone, or their initial accented with pave diamonds. Because a friend wants you to be a holiday hero. Stop by or shop now at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Mike Rowe here with a name everyone should know, Groundworks. The foundation and crawl space repair experts are coming soon to Phoenix. So if you've got a musty crawl space or cracks in your walls, these are the guys to call. And right now, Groundworks is hiring for all positions. If you're looking for a career, Groundworks is the place to do it. You can go from installer to foreman in under a year and become an owner of the company you work for. Apply now at groundworks.com/careers.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
On your ride home from work, join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
If we owned our own football team called the Angry Roosters and we kept signing people to contracts and they weren't honoring their contracts and kept demanding raises, at what point do we throw our hands up and just say no to everybody? We signed you to a contract. Play out your contract, and that's it. You earn a better contract on your next one, we'll pay you for that.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Mark me down, 3-point play, Tampa -5.5. I'm in. I think that's an overreaction to Tampa losing, and I watched that Atlanta team play, and they stink.
The team stinks, and I will also be taking Tampa -5.5, and I will match it with a 3-point play.
So no, it's not going to change anything about this week, but we are both using our 3-point play on Tampa -5.5.
And I shouldn't have said anything last segment. I don't think you would have taken it.
No, you would have been able to open the segment. Said, boom, I'm taking Tampa -5.5. You could have played the breaking news sounder. You would have caught me off guard. But you said something. I looked at it, and I was appalled at the disrespect to Tampa.
And I got to be honest with you now. I'm upset that I did that.
Yeah, well, if you're gonna play the picks game, you gotta play the game correctly, and you did not.
You don't think I played the game correctly?
I don't think you played the game correctly at all. So we both have our 3 points on Tampa -5.5 tonight. It's important for us to get a win over Team Listener.
So it ends up being big for us.
It's huge for the show because we lost last week to Team Listener. What's Team Listener's overall record?
Team Listener picked up another win this week.
Yeah, well, because Russell went perfect.
So Russell went perfect.
He was the first person to go perfect in the history of the show.
And so I got
on the Listener side. I've had perfect weeks, and I think you've had a perfect week as well.
Yes, he was the first person.
First Team Listener member to have a perfect week.
I'm gonna have to go through V Creative to get you the record
to see how.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I just thought maybe you had it off the top of your head. What do we have in the leftovers today?
Today in the leftovers, we talked about it, but the hot stove, it's heating up around baseball. And another move today, the Atlanta Braves have brought in Robert Suarez to pair him with Raisel Iglesias.
Yeah, 3-year, $45 million deal for Robert Suarez, former closer for San Diego Padres, now lands in the setup role for Atlanta. So some big money being thrown around. That's $15 million a season for a setup guy. They signed Iglesias to a 1-year, $16 million deal. So they're building a back end of their bullpen. They play in a tough division. Philly's been good over the last couple of years. They had a really bad year last year, had a lot of injuries on the pitching side. That derailed them. They've still got a ton of talent. They're shoring up the back end of their bullpen. You know, they have Ronald Acuna Jr., they have Matt Olson, they have Austin Riley. They have a lot of power.
Had another outfielder yesterday, and Mike Yastrzemski.
Mike Yastrzemski to a 2-year deal. So they're adding on the offensive side. So yeah, they're a good team. That division is very competitive. You have the Phillies who won it. You have the Marlins who are on the up and up. You have the Mets who no idea what they're doing. You have the Nationals who I think can go either way with trying to compete or maybe selling off some pieces. I know Mackenzie Gore and C.J. Abrams have been thrown out there as potential trade candidates, but the Braves certainly trying to shore up the back end of their bullpen so that they can close out some games on a regular basis.
Have you heard all the talk about the Olympics ice?
So I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on this, but I do know that there is a disagreement on whether or not the NHL players are going to play if the rink is not the correct size.
So The current rink, remember, the Olympic ice is typically larger and wider than the
Huge nerd.
traditional NHL ice.
Okay.
And so it gives, teams like Canada who want to play a very fast brand of hockey, typically the advantage, but that's a side note. The Olympic ice always bigger than the NHL ice, other than the Four Nations, because that was an NHL-sponsored event. This year, very different. The arena in Italy is smaller than an NHL ice.
Oh, now, yeah.
And I don't know the
we can't do
exact
this.
numbers,
Yeah,
but
we can't do this.
Approximately the neutral zone is about 40% smaller
Yeah, I'm out.
than an NHL ice.
I'm out.
So unless they can get this fixed, and not even to mention, apparently the ice quality is really bad.
I'm out.
So they're worried about injury.
I'm out. I will not be sending my players if I was a team.
So they're talking about not sending NHL players.
Yeah, I'm good. If it's that small, 40% is noticeable. Like if you told me it was 5%, I don't know.
Okay, yeah, you don't feel the
I don't
difference.
know if I see the difference. 40%. I mean, are we playing in a box? What are we doing here?
So, yeah, if Olympic ice is not safe, the NHL Board of Governors meetings Monday, they will not send players.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with that approach.
So that would be really sad.
Because you yesterday asked me if we were going to have Olympic coverage here on the show. And I said, well, when the Olympics start, if we want to talk about the Olympics, the leftovers can basically just be a daily Olympics update. We can update the medals.
That's what I should do.
We could do a whole thing. The leftovers.
What a good idea.
Can be totally commandeered by the Olympic Games, and we can keep everybody updated on where things stand. Now, no hockey.
Becomes way more difficult.
It becomes a little bit more challenging. Well, they're still going to play hockey. I just don't know who's going to represent Team USA. Okay. This is interesting. Didn't think the leftovers was going to have a breaking news story today.
Cubs and reliever Hobie Milner reach a 1 year, $3.75.
You hit me with that. That was like from 45 minutes ago. I saw that earlier in the program. I just didn't say anything. I didn't think Hobie Milner rose to the level of using the breaking news sound.
No, he's awesome in MLB The Show.
He signed a 1 year deal for less than $4 million. That's what we're using.
Do you know how awesome he is in MLB The Show?
All right, you know what? Hit the breaking news sounder. I got one for you. Go ahead. Hit me with it. I got something for you. Xavier Alford declared for the NFL draft today.
That's good stuff. Jordan Tyson also declared.
That's a great use of the breaking news sound. Not for
no, it's not
left-handed reliever.
Because if everybody knows Jordan Tyson is going.
I didn't say Jordan Tyson. I was talking about Xavier Alford. I don't care about Jordan Tyson. We know he's getting drafted inside the top 10. He might go to the Cardinals right now.
That would be awesome. Scary story. TJ Watt was hospitalized and getting his lung evaluated.
Yeah, we don't know enough about this story to really comment on it. He was at practice. He was dealing with discomfort. Apparently, he was rushed to the hospital. The team put out a statement saying it was something with his lung that they would keep us updated. We have not gotten an update as of yet. So, yeah, a very scary story there in Pittsburgh. By the way, speaking of the AFC North, did you see that after missing practice yesterday, Lamar Jackson was out at practice again today for the Baltimore Ravens? As has become a weekly tradition of him not practicing on Wednesday, and then I see the video of him walking out to practice on Thursday.
What is happening?
We're getting to the point where you could just use the video from the prior week, and it would be all right.
What is happening?
I don't know. He just doesn't practice on Wednesday, and then he practices on Thursday, and everybody freaks out for 5 minutes. That's what happens.
This has happened every week.
Oh, interesting. Hold on. Brian has an interesting comment here, saying that Evan needs to take the first hour of the show off for unauthorized use of the sounder, similar to a targeting penalty, missing the first half of the next game.
Brian hasn't come at me in a while.
Yeah, it's been a little bit, and so he's been waiting in the bushes, and he's seizing on an opportunity.
I just want to be clear, that was breaking news.
What do we do? I mean, that was in the first hour of the show.
No, it was not. It was in the second hour. He signed at 12:23.
I can tell you when he signed because I got the tweet notification for it. So hold on, because I got to scroll back here. This Jesse Rogers tweet was from 11:37. Jesse Rogers
It's
covers.
confirmed at 12:23.
Okay, well, confirmed. Jesse Rogers, who covers the Cubs for ESPN, reported it at 11:37, which, if my math is correct, is nearly 90 minutes ago. So I will agree for the unauthorized use of the sounder, but it's just a warning. Next time, it'll be a penalty. Just a warning to that for unauthorized use of the breaking news sounder. We'll see what tomorrow has for us. It is a Football Friday edition of the show. Jim Rome's coming up next. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do, even an unauthorized use of the breaking news sounder. Everybody have a great rest of your Thursday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya.